Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Snav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate that you should go buy because it's on sale right now.
Yes, and this is a Clash of Kings chapters 37?
Yeah.
37, 38, and 39. Theon, Arya, and Catelyn. In these chapters, Theon kills people. Arya wants to kill people, also kills person, and Catelyn comes home to find people killed and hanging from the walls. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Hope y'all are okay. We're here. We're doing this. Yay. Okay, first questions first. Harmith, who dies in these chapters?
His last name has 8 letters.
Tallheart?
Yes.
Tallheart. 8 letters? You remembered the number of letters, but like...
No, because you have to understand, the way I know words
also,
is I see them in my head, and I see the amount of letters.
That's 9 letters.
But they're blurry. Wait, what?
Tallheart is 9.
Isn't it just H-A-R-T?
Oh, it probably is. I didn't pay enough attention to that.
Well, the way...
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is.
Yeah, the way I know words is I see them, but sometimes it'll be fuzzy, like I'll see the number of
Really?
I've
Do you know words when you see them?
What?
You were like, the way I know words is if I see them.
No, like in my head I see them.
I know.
Or else I don't know it. Like, yeah,
That's okay. Tallheart, that other kid that Theon kills, what's his name?
Loppy? It's not Loppy. It's I think it starts with an L though. I should probably look this up.
Todrick.
Oh, I was completely
Does not start with an L. Okay. And a bunch of people that his people kill.
Yeah. All those people. And then Weiss.
In Arya's chapter.
Weiss or Weiss?
Weiss, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, cool. Him, and then... Did anyone else die in her chapter? I don't remember, so...
No, I think that's it, actually.
Okay, and then Catelyn's...
Pretty bloodless Arya chapter.
Wow, and then Catelyn chapter, I'm completely blanking.
Well, all the people hung on the walls.
Oh, yeah, right. The land people who were supposed to rescue Jaime, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Are they hanging, or were they hanged? See, I gotta know this now.
They're hanging. They were killed.
Like they were killed.
Were hung.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So there's the 4 people that all the people that Tyrion sent to try to free Jaime.
Well, I don't think.
And then Jaime killed a couple of the Riverrun guards.
Right. Yes.
And
we got Ned's body, but I mean, he died, a while
he's been
ago.
Dead. Yeah, he been dead.
Been there, dead that.
Okay. Ned the Dead.
That should be the spin-off show.
Ned the Dead? What would we even see in the spin-off
show? I don't know. Ned deserved better, okay? Ned dies before the end of season 1? That's rude.
Book 1. You don't know about seasons.
He probably dies before the end of season 1. I'm just going off of assumptions. It's not like I'm ever gonna find out.
That's true. Yeah, okay. I think that's the death tally for this episode. Yes. Let's move on to the summary.
Oh my gosh, I forget everything. I have no excuse. I read these maybe 5 hours ago, but then I went to do a lab and everything flooded my mind.
It's okay. Just do your best.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Theon.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, Go.
Okay, Theon, they're, by the shore. They've done their little, ransacking, doing their thing. They've captured people, killed people, raped people, done all that. They're there. Why am I going on about this? Theon has an alternate plan. Theon is gonna go to Winterfell and capture the castle because he's like, Asha's getting a castle, I'm gonna capture a castle, and then I'm gonna get the kingdom, and I'm gonna give it to my dad, and then he's gonna be proud of me. Oh my gosh. And that's apparently his voice. So that's his plan, and he's trying to get his uncle, Arya. Arya's there. Arya is, Tywin is leaving Harrenhal finally, and, they're prepping for that. She's running errands, running messages all day. She's giving messages to people who don't know how to read. She's like, maybe I should take a horse and run away. And she's like, no, Wheeze, I'm scared. So then she gets Wheeze killed, via her death genie. And then she regrets it. She's like, I really could have gotten Tywin killed. Now I can't get him killed. Lovely. Love this.
Switch.
Vibing. Catelyn. Oh, yes. Catelyn arrives at River Run. She sees the people hung. She's like, what are you doing? She finds out that Edmure plans to, deal with Tywin as he passes. And she's like, what are you doing? And first she, tries to argue, but then eventually she's like, I'm a woman. What do I know? And she's just worn out by the journey. And Brienne, that's her name, right? Brienne vows to serve Catelyn.
Okay, that's it.
I got to nothing in Catelyn's chapter. I forgot every single thing that happened.
It's a long chapter. It's so long.
I know. There was a lot going on in Catelyn's chapter.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good summarizing. Let's move on. Okay. I just want to finish this recording so that we can get on to other things. Okay, so Theon. It starts with somebody spitting in his face, which I cheered at that.
Yes.
And Benfred Tallheart. Oh my god, dude, you've got too many names in your name.
Compound names.
Yeah. He calls Theon a piece of a piece of sheep dung.
I love it.
I love whenever people, basically what they're saying is you piece of shit, but, they use more creative ways to say
love
it.
And when he says the crows will eat the jelly of your eyes, I was like, yes, they will.
Going back to the piece of shit thing, one of my favorite lines in Harry Potter is when Mrs. Fig calls, what's his name? Mundungus Fletcher. Yeah, she calls him a worthless pile of bat droppings. And I've always loved that.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, so great insult. But Aaron Damphair's there. He's trying to get Theon to kill this guy, and Theon's like, no, but I have questions for him. And Tallheart's basically like, fuck you, fuck your questions, and I would rather die, so go fuck yourself. And then he tries to spit on him again, but this time he can only muster up blood instead of spit, which, lovely image there.
Yes.
And, yeah, Aaron's just like, when he spits on you, he spits on the drowned god. He must die. And Theon's like, okay, whatever, kill him. But Aaron wants him drowned, specifically.
In the old way.
Yeah. Theon's like, first off, what does it matter as long as he's dead? Because he doesn't, subscribe to the old ways or the god.
Yeah.
And also he he's like, fine, yeah, you can take him and go drown him because that's too unsavory for me. But it's weird, he's not subscribing to the ways of the Iron Men, but also you go and drown him is also not something that Ned would have taught him.
Yeah. He's kind of he's not subscribing to either of them.
One
really.
or the other. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I guess
that
he's
happens
trying
like
to forge his own way.
yeah.
But not okay. I have to admit, I was more sympathetic to Theon in this chapter than I have ever been before.
Yeah.
Because even with Tallheart, he's, you know, like, oh my god, I knew this dude, and
Yeah.
if you just kept your mouth shut, I could have, you know, spared you maybe, or had you as prisoner or something, but you had to go on and spit in my face.
Right.
Which is like, you know, you spit in my face, so I'm gonna have to kill you now, is not like a sympathetic outlook, but it's still,
For Theon, it's like a
it's
like a
it's benevolent for Theon.
just the fact that he shows even an ounce of like, oh, I knew you, you know, like just the fact that any of that is like, oh, this is a Theon chapter. What? No, I totally felt that too. I was like, oh, I don't like feeling this way for Theon at all.
No. But yeah, so they take him to drown him in the sea, and Theon's like, oh, you know, perhaps it's a kindness. This is when he's like contemplating how thick his neck was. Neck. Yeah.
Yes.
But like Shore being beheaded by like a not great marksman, or, you know, a blunt axe or something, where it would take more than one blow would be painful. Yeah. But also drowning is pretty painful. Yeah. So I don't know if any of this is a kindness.
Yeah. He's just trying to be like, oh, it's okay, I'm fine, I'm doing great.
Yeah. So
and then he's kind of looking around, and he sees Fish Whiskers and Todrick, and they're like arguing, and they're drunk.
What? No, Fish Whiskers is not the one who's drunk. His son, one of his sons, is Todrick. It doesn't matter. So, like,
people are drunk. They're fighting.
One person is drunk.
He can't be the only one who's drunk.
Fish Whiskers' son is fighting with Todrick. Man, I do not care to know any of these people's names or know to this much detail what happened in this scene, really. Basically, people are, you know, robbing the dead bodies, or what does he say? What does he call it? Paying the iron price, but like, yeah, basically
looting,
taking what
doing their thing. They're doing all that.
Looting, that was the word I was looking for. Yeah. And Theon thinks about going to find the bodies of the couple of people he killed, but he's like, oh, I don't think Ned would have liked that. Yeah. No, not that I don't want to do that, but I don't want to do that because Ned wouldn't find that like a good thing. But then he's like, who cares about Ned? Oh, I don't like those.
Yeah. He's a living, walking personality disaster.
Yeah. So this is when he notices Todrick, the guy he ends up killing, is drunk and fighting with one of Fish Whisker's kids. And he's gonna shoot. He like readies his bow to shoot at Todrick's hand to give everybody a shot to talk about because he's such a marksman. But Todrick moves and gets the arrow in his belly and has to die. So
yup.
And then even after that, Theon's like, oh, now they'll know I mean what I say, even though like this was not his plan at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No, and I enjoyed he was like on his knees. Todrick was dying noisily. Like, okay, his death is inconvenient to you. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, everything is an inconvenience to Theon.
I was like, what the heck? But yeah, like you said, he's like, yeah, now they'll know what I am. And he's kind of having this full of himself moment. And then he's kind of wondering about the rabbit skins that his banner had.
The Tallhearts had, like, tied to their banners, which I honestly don't even remember or know what that's about. He was gonna ask Benfred, but Benfred had to go and spit in his face, so of course he got what was coming to him.
Right, exactly. And he's kind of like, man, like, after the Whispering Wood, like, I felt like a superstar. Right now, I just, like, feel all weird and icky. What's happening? And once again, personality moment going on.
Yeah, a lot of conflict.
Yes, definitely. And
so he's thinking back to how they had, like, they'd ambushed their party, like, pretty easily. They had been like singing down the road, not even sending scouts ahead or anything.
Yeah.
And he's just not happy with this situation.
Yeah, he's like,
as he should be.
He's like, this is what someone as glorious as me is supposed to do. Just like loot these people, and I don't even get to, he's just everything. He's doing his thing. And then he's also he's like, I'm not gonna, he's like, people are just gonna think this is sea writers. Like, I'm not even gonna get credit for this, even this little thing that I did. Like, come on. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this happen. Yeah. I have a plan.
I'm gonna get another plan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he goes to where their ships are docked and finds Dagmar Cleftjaw, who had half of his jaw broken in at a young age. And that sounds gruesome.
That's fun.
But at least it hasn't, sullied his demeanor.
Mm-hmm. He's smiling.
Still one of... Exactly.
And Theon, every time he smiles, Theon's like, I wouldn't smile if I was him, but like, that's a new one. I haven't done that voice yet. But yeah, every time he smiles, Theon like points it out.
Yeah.
And then Dagmar's like, how'd it go? Like, what's going on? He's like, they sang better than they fought. Because they didn't.
And when he tells Dagmar that he had to, in quotes, Todrick, because he was drunk and fighting over the loot, Dagmar says that some men are born to be killed.
Okay.
I found that funny. It's not, yeah, I don't know. It's not a good statement, but it's still like, okay, interesting outlook there.
Yeah. And then Dagmar's like, Theon's like, I gotta talk to you, uncle. And then Dagmar's like, come on down, boy. And then he's like, we don't have enough horses. And he's like, we are traveling by sea. Like, why do we need horses? And Theon's like, we don't have to do that. And uncle's like, this is our job.
Dagmar.
Dagmar.
He's not his uncle. I know, but he is more. He's definitely like a father figure to Theon. He even like notes at one point that like Dagmar gave him more smiles than his dad and Ned Stark combined. So. Yeah,
and he was the one who like gave him his first like sword.
Taught him all the things.
Yeah. And so Theon pretty much does some emotional manipulation, and he's like, so, you want to go along with my plan. And so pretty much, like, at first, I was about to say uncle again, Cleftjaw's like, okay, like, this is our job, we're supposed to stay here, like, just loot these people, just, like, chill. This is our part of the plan. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, yeah, but, like, you're the best warrior. How can you sit here and do this thing? Like, this is too easy for you.
Because he senses that Dagmar has, like, a great sense of pride, which is insightful on his part, I guess. If only he put his
talents to better use.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just the fact that he successfully does this, like, he's not bad at, like, he has an emotional IQ, somewhere in there. Yeah. But he just doesn't use it well at all.
No.
Or EQ, I guess. I don't know why I said emotional IQ. That's not a thing. That would just be EQ. Sorry, I'm dwelling on a detail.
It's okay. Well, yeah, we get it.
Okay, but yeah, and he's kind of just like, yeah, like, you're amazing and I'm amazing. The Starks knew it too. And I didn't know this. He was one of Brynden Blackfish's picked what am I saying? Scouts. So I guess when they were like traveling and Brynden was like coming back
we met up with them when they were.
I know, but I didn't pay attention to Theon then. Blackfish. He didn't have a chapter yet. I didn't pay attention to him.
No, that's true.
And he's kind of like, you're amazing, I'm amazing. Why are we not doing better things?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't admit that he's amazing until the Cleftjaw calls him on it. He's like, it's not me who feels wasted here, kid. I don't know what that was.
I mean, true. And then...
But yeah, he's
Dagmar's
like, yeah.
kind of like, you're like... he's kind of also ranting. He's like, ugh, why, my dad gave me this job, and Dagmar's like, okay, but, like, you know, like, you've been with the Starks for a while, like, can you blame him for not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Theon's like, I'm no Stark! I'm a Greyjoy! I need to prove myself! Why do I sound constipated? Why is that the Theon voice? I don't know. And so...
You've done 3 different Theon voices so far.
I have. And so Theon's... So, you know, Cleftjaw is still like, no, like, this is our job. And Theon's like, no, let's let Aaron do it. You know, he can do his thing. And then he's like, it doesn't matter. And he's like, you know, we should take a castle too. And Dagmar's like, Hasha has a lot more people. That's why she's taking a castle. Like, we don't have that many people. We have enough people for the job that we've been given.
Yeah.
And Theon's like, yeah, but, like, we're smarter and more courageous. The fourth...
Now Theon's a valley girl.
Yes, he is. And he's like, my father will thank me when I give him the kingdom.
You can't get back into it.
Okay, wait.
Okay, we need to, like, I feel like this will be such a pain to listen to, because we're just like...
Okay, we'll stop. We're not gonna laugh. Okay, done. So yeah, his emotional manipulation works finally. So at this point, Dagmar's like, what would I do? You know? And... What's
my, you know, part in the scheme of yours?
Yeah, and Theon's like, okay, so you're gonna march on Torrhen Square because the best fighters and everything are gone south, and there's only Leobard and, like, a small amount of people. We don't know how small. Leobald. Oh, I said Bard. Leobald, yes. Leobald, and there's just a small amount of people, so you're gonna march there, and, like, make a big deal out of it, you know? Scare them a little bit, be really loud, sing songs if you want, you know? Do all that.
Put up some siege towers.
Yeah.
Even though that's, like, not our way.
Yeah. At all.
But just scare them into asking for help. And surely the Castellan at Winterfell will be compelled to go to their aid.
Ooh.
And the Cleftjaw is basically like, you know, we would never be able to take this hold fast.
He's like,
what are you playing at? And he says, well, it's not Torrhen Square that I mean to capture. We still have... Nobody here has ever said that he's going to Winterfell.
Where else is he going? To Casterly Rock?
I don't know, you tell me.
He's going to Winterfell. Easy.
Okay, that seems like the most obvious one, especially with, like, Jojen's prophecy of the seas coming to Winterfell
everything.
and all
and
that.
Also, like, Theon, like, knows Winterfell, you know? He knows every nook and cranny. So, like, he can do it, you know?
Right.
He can do it, and it would be this, like, marvelous victory. Like, he says, he's like, when my father finds out about this, you know, like, I'm gonna inherit everything, apparently.
That was voice number 5.
Oh, I thought that was one of the ones I did earlier. Well, I tried to do that earlier.
Yeah, and no consistency here. Okay, so, do you think this is a good plan?
I don't... I mean, yeah.
Like,
I think
not,
it's a good
like,
plan.
of course we don't want it to work, but do you think it's, like, good in that?
I think it's a reasonable plan. I think it's a reasonable plan. I think it's a good strategy. Yes.
Okay. And do you think that this is, like, if his goal is to accomplish Winterfell, that's a good strategy. But should his goal be to capture Winterfell?
Like, in terms of his father's greater strategy? Like, is he messing things up by pursuing this? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, like, in terms... Okay, right. I don't think...
Like, in the grander scheme of things, will capturing Winterfell benefit him and or the Ironborn?
I don't think so, because I think it'll draw more attention to them, and right now they kind of have that sneak, like... Oh, yeah, like, we're looting a few people on the shore, but it doesn't mean anything, you know, like...
And you don't even know it's us. It could be anyone.
Yeah, exactly. It really could be, like, anybody who even lives there, because it's small enough right now. So I feel like, and, like, in terms of, like, with the experience he has, like, oh yeah, this is a cool plan, you know, like, in theory, but it's, like, it's just gonna draw more attention to them, and that's kind of one of the things that they have going for them right now, is the lack of attention. Like, people aren't out here suspecting them. Like, you know, there's this greater battle going on, no one's paying attention to what's happening on this shore, and he's kind of messing it up for them.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen to the Cleftjaw and his, like, troop of people that are going to go over to Torrhen Square? Will they succeed in taking the castle? Or will, like, to me, it sounds like he's basically sending Cleftjaw off to die.
Yeah, really, yeah. Because they really have he's like, oh yeah, you're like 5 times stronger, so, like, you'll be fine. But it's like, well, yeah.
Or, like, even if you do die, you'll die in glory.
Yeah. I don't think he'll die. Because I feel like they'll probably just, like, they'll be, what's the word, besieged, I guess? Like, they'll just be besieged, and I feel like I feel like they're not gonna have the conflict for them to die, you know what I mean? Because I think, Leobard isn't, from what we know, I feel like Leobard isn't gonna be like, okay, let's, like, stand our ground. Like, I feel like they'll get besieged, and then they're there, and then they just, like, chill and wait for the grander plan to unfold. Like, I don't see a conflict happening. Like, I don't see...
Okay.
Like, unless... Well, no, because... Like, he already said, like, he's like, oh, like, this isn't the way we do it. So I think if they stick to the plan, I don't see them dying.
Well, okay.
But if Cleftjaw is like, no, I'm just gonna attack... You know what I mean? Then
right. But even if they sit tight, according to Theon's plan, Sir Roderick will be, you know, gathering people and attack, like, coming to Torrhen Square's aid.
Yeah. Right. So then in that case, oh yeah, right. Forgot about that.
Then they'll be caught between the castle and the attacking forces.
Yeah,
so.
That's kind of a death mission. I don't see this working out for them. I mean, like, yeah. I don't know, but I feel like... Yeah, I think they're screwed.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
They're screwed. I was trying to be hopeful, but it's not looking too great for them.
All right. Well, the one kind of true father figure Theon had, he just sacrificed, so...
Yeah, good job, Theon.
Well done.
Good job, buddy.
Let's move on to Arya. Arya.
Also,
what happens? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know why, but I feel like his plan will work, and then his dad will be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he'll be like
Theon will capture Winterfell, and then his dad will be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what?
I don't know. But, like, his dad will be, like, because he's like, oh, my dad's gonna give me the, you know, he's gonna make me the heir as soon as I, you know, capture Winterfell, but I don't think that's gonna work. His dad's just gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? Okay,
so his dad will not be happy like he thinks he'll be.
Yeah, he'll just be like, okay, you did this in like a stark fashion, and, like, you didn't pay the Iron Prince, like, you know what I mean?
Would you say it's in stark contrast to the old ways?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Arya. Okay, cool.
Yay for, well, that'll suck for, you know, Bran and Rickon who are there. And everybody else that we like in Winterfell, and I'm sure Rob wouldn't be happy if that were to happen. Neither would Catelyn.
Catelyn would be
anybody,
like,
really.
Ugh, and now their tragedy befalls my life.
But seems like Theon may also not have too much happiness coming his way, so
I'm okay with that.
Maybe he'll get his comeuppance. I don't know.
Yeah. So Arya's at Harrenhal, as we you know, have established.
People are packing. Because Tywin is marching.
Marching.
I love saying. saying verbs without the G at the end. It's just so fun. Packing, marching,
Yep.
dying.
Yes. And so first, Adam Marbrin left. He leaves the day before, and he was very like, haha, I'm leaving. And Arya's like, I hope they all die.
Yeah, because she knows they're going to go fight Robb. She's gotten the news of his great win in the West.
Yes.
Yay, Robb.
And Weiss is keeping her very busy. He's keeping her messaging left and right and up and down and sideways. She's like as soon as she like breathes for 1 second, he's like, go give this message away.
Yeah. And she's, contemplating, escaping in all this chaos, but every time she thinks about it, she thinks about Weiss and how he can smell what you're thinking. And he's threatened to, like, if anybody tries to, escape or whatever, he'll just hand them over to Vargo Hoat, who will then cut off their feet. So Arya does not want that.
Yeah. Yes. This happens a lot of times in this chapter.
Just like her being like, I could do this, but Weiss, like
that.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. And she has a fun little moment where she so one of the messages he has her run is like, someone has to pay up on a gambling debt that they have, and the person that she gave it to couldn't read, so she kind of like tells him, she's like, this is the message, and
the dude tries to hit her, but she escapes, like ducks down, grabs like a thing of silver and runs away.
And I was like, damn, she's so sneaky. I love it.
Yeah. And all this time, while she, like, all of this messaging packing up is happening and everything's happening, she's, like, always looking out for Jaqen Hagar, because she's like, oh, this is my chance to give him the names.
Let's go!
Yeah.
And then she finds out that he's gonna be staying here because Sir Amory Lorch isn't leaving with Lan Clan's man. And she's like, okay, so I don't have to worry about him leaving.
For the silver, what was it, like drinking horn or something? Yeah. Silver banded drinking horn that she stole. Weiss is like, oh, well done, girl. I'll share my dinner with you tonight.
Spoiler, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does not. And it's anyway, that was just a little note that we'll come back to later.
Yes.
But she's like asked to go get a sword for some guy. She runs into Gendry at the smithy.
Okay, she says like, I don't even know if I want to talk to him. It was his fault that we'd been caught. What?
I remember when he was really loud when they were trying to sneak up to the like village of captured people.
Was he really loud? I thought he just like got captured, and then Arya was like, "Oh shit, now I gotta go."
He got captured because he was loud.
Oh, okay. Damn, I forgot about him being loud part. Because I was like, why is she blaming him?
Basically, he got captured, and then she had to go try to free him, and then Hot Pie yielded all over the place, and then,
He yielded all over the place. Yes, he did, yeah. And then she's like, okay, I need to get the sword, and he's like, by the way, you need to stop getting yourself, like, exposed. Like, Hot Pie asked me if I heard you yell Winterfell, and, like, I had to say that what you said was go to hell, and you need to say that too, and that was so funny. Winterfell, go to hell. Winterfell, go to hell. And, yeah, I don't like these odds for Arya, man. But, I mean...
Yeah, but I think, okay, so at this point, she even considers maybe giving Hot Pie's name to Jaqen. Damn. And I was like, wait, is she doing this out of spite? But then I was like, maybe... I think the reason she's thinking that is to have one less person who may know and reveal her identity. Yeah. I think that's what she's thinking, right?
Yeah, I didn't think it was spite at all. I had just assumed that was what it was.
I know, it just caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's all good. I was like, basically, yeah. She doesn't want hot pie.
She takes the sword to Weiss. He hits her for not being fast enough. And blah blah. But I
liked this little thing. She was like, maybe I'm not a water dancer yet, but I'm not a mouse either. I was like, oh,
with the sword in her hand, which gets promptly taken away from her.
No, we're ignoring that part. We're ignoring that part. I liked the little neutrality here, because she has, she's been so like, I'm a mouse, I hide in these crevices, and it was nice to just see like her be like, I am, like I am. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we hear more rumors about like, Rob, well, he's got an army of giants and wolves and blah, blah, blah.
I was like, I wish.
She's like, that's right. He's a wolf and so am I. You better watch out.
Yes, exactly.
But after getting punished by Wheeze for being, too slow, she runs into Rorge and Biter. No, I don't know if Biter is there. Rorge is definitely there. And he offers them lovely verbal abuse until she mentions that she's looking for Jaqen, and then all of a sudden he's he has pause. Has pause, is that a thing?
I don't know.
He pauses.
He pauses, I think.
No, there is something there. Okay, we're not gonna.
We're not getting into this again. Not again.
No, we're not. Okay, so basically, he's scared of Jaqen and tells her that he's in the bathhouse.
Jaqen scares me too. Like, I know right now Jaqen's on her side, but like,
why he's our death genie? But what if tomorrow he's somebody else's death genie?
And how is he a death genie? Like, how is he doing this? And like, what is this? Like, okay, before, why did he become a prisoner? Like, what did he do? Do we know?
No, we just know he was in the black cells, which are reserved for the most dangerous of criminals.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But the most dangerous of criminals are even afraid of him.
Yeah. They are.
Man, I'm glad he's on our side, but like, what? And like, this networking ability?
Only for one more name, though.
Okay, no, we're ignoring that. But like, this network...
I love your attitude today. You're just like, I will not consider anything that does not fit into my lovely narrative.
Hey, yes. Like, I don't understand, though, because, like, obviously he's not doing it by himself. But, like, how does he have this network? How?
What network?
He
just got there. What are you talking about?
He's not doing this by himself, right?
So, let me get this right. He rolled up into Networking 101. He had his business card with him, handed it out.
No, but
shook some hands.
He's gotta have some people there. Like, I guess, like, okay, Rorge clearly knows what he's capable of. Yeah, okay, I'm dwelling on this. Okay, moving on. Anyway, just a thought. I'm afraid of him. That's the bottom line. I'm afraid of Jaqen Hagar.
Death Genie.
Death Genie, yes. Also, oh my gosh, who was that? Wait, sorry, give me 1 second. Oh no, that's in the next chapter. I'll bring that up later. Okay, cool.
No, but tell me, I can't.
No, I'll bring it next chapter. Okay, so,
okay, write it down. You're gonna forget.
I won't. I have it written down.
Okay. All right. So she goes and finds Jaqen in the bathhouse, and he's taking a bath, and that's what you do in a bathhouse.
Yes. And she whispers,
that sounded like a death rattle.
Death rattle for the Death Genie.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, see you later. And she goes and goes about her day. At supper that night, she's watching Wheeze eat that bird of some kind.
You know what makes me sad?
Like, oh, what?
Wheeze died before we could see him wheeze.
Okay. So, yeah, she's watching him eat, and eventually he looks up and she's like, oh, he remembered to share his food with me. I almost feel bad that I told Jaqen to kill him.
Yeah.
Until he calls her over and is like, you staring at my food? Here's a smack. And he basically throws her to the ground. Her dress rips in the, process. And it's all terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And she has to sew up her dress that night, and she's thinking, listing her names as she's doing it, and eventually falls asleep. But the next morning she is once again woken by wheeze.
Yay!
And is put back to work again. And that's like the day that everybody is leaving, marching out.
She watches everyone leave. And Polliver is wearing Gendry's helm that he made.
Is Polliver wearing Gendry's helm?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
And it makes me sad.
Oh yeah, Polliver is wearing Gendry's helm.
Like,
sorry, I forgot which one of the,
Yeah, it makes me sad.
terrible people.
Which one of the terrible people?
Yeah.
Yes. And
one of them also has Needle,
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They do?
Yes.
That's even worse. That's like 20 times worse.
Yeah,
Man.
I don't think it's mentioned here because I think the reason because I thought it was Polliver who had it, because it was whoever captured them when, Hot Pie yielded all over the place. I know it was the Mountains Men, but I don't, maybe I'm misremembering who had
rude.
what, but yeah, they're all leaving.
Could it be like...
And...
Could it be like Amory Lorch or something, and then he's still there?
No, Amory, because it was the Mountains Men who took it.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. Like, unless they left it behind, but I don't know why they would leave, like, good steel behind,
Yeah. This is... Whatever. Everyone's good swords keep getting taken by the Land Clan. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan of the Land Clan or their plan.
Yeah.
So
and at this point,
she's
like,
watching
why didn't I say Tywin? Like, what am I doing? And she severely regrets it. And she's like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
But then she sees Weeze die, and she's like, never mind.
Well, first she's like, oh, maybe he's not dead yet, so I'll find Jaqen. And she runs to go find him. Only on her way, she hears, like, somebody scream, and lo and behold, Weeze is dead.
Yay!
Apparently, eaten alive by his dog.
Which is weird. Like, how did he set his dog on him? Did he, like... I don't even know how you do that.
What do you think?
I don't understand, like...
And this was, like, a dog that, like, had been with Weeze the dog's entire life.
Which I don't understand. So... Like, maybe... Did he, like, give him, like, some sort of ointment or something that, like...
Give ointment?
Weeze, like, not ointment, but, like, something to put on his face.
Something to, like, make
that the dog would want.
Irresistible.
Yeah.
I think the first time I read it, like, my first, like, reaction, what I thought that would have possibly happened is that he, like, slit Weeze's throat, and then, like, the dog couldn't resist the blood and whatever gushing out of the throat and took a bite, and then, like, people were like, oh, the dog did it.
Right.
What do you think of that?
I think that's possible, but, like, hold up. Yeah, I guess that is possible. It's certainly more plausible than ointment. Yeah, that's possible. I'm not sure.
Put some peanut butter on Weeze's throat.
Yeah, like, I don't like this Jaqen guy, man. I know he's on our side, but something fishy.
Is he on our side, though?
Momentarily.
All he's said is, I owe you 3 deaths, and, like, that's all.
I know, so, he's doing that.
Just because he owes her 3 deaths doesn't mean that he can't die somebody else.
Kill somebody else. No, I know, but
somebody
like...
she cares about.
Yeah, but, like, there's no one here. Except for, like, maybe Gendry. That's, like, it.
Okay.
There's no one else here, right? Yeah, no, there isn't.
Well, who says it has to be here?
His network is
apparently
not that...
he's been networking.
His network is not that widespread, okay? We are fine.
Okay. All right.
Once he gets out of here, yes, I will be worried for everyone and everything. But right now, we're good.
You think he's got, like, other people working with him on this?
Oh, yeah.
Plant. And, the dog was, you know, lured by some reasonable way?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think of Arya's decision to name Wheeze?
I think it's good. I think it's one of those things where it's like she's gotta be selfish in this instant, you know what I mean? Like, I know she's like, oh my gosh, if I killed Tywin, like, so many things would be solved, but it's like Wheeze is your direct kind of abuser,
tormentor.
And it's like, you need to just, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
He's here and here's...
Yeah, I feel like I have no right to, like, I could get diplomatic about it and be like, okay, but, like, this would have been more strategic, but I feel like I have no right to judge her choice just because he's so awful that, like, it's like, you know what? Yeah, it makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I don't blame her for it. I mean, I would have loved to, you know, because now she's down to one name.
Yeah, that's the kind of the issue.
The two people she has chosen so far, while very satisfying, were not of consequence.
Yeah. But, like, also, I don't 100% trust Jaqen Hagar, so, like, I feel like, I don't know, like,
you
if
would
she was,
rather
like, Tywin, you know, if she was, like, Tywin, and then he, you know, goes to Joffrey and he's like, she killed Tywin, or, like, you know what I mean, like, anything like that, like, I feel like at that,
but like, instead of, he would have to explain, I killed Tywin for her.
No, he didn't have to explain that.
I guess, okay.
But, like, yeah, it just, I don't like this dude, that's the bottom line. I don't like this dude.
Okay.
He's fishy.
All right. Yeah. Who do you think will be her next name?
Ooh, I think she's gonna save her next name for a bit. I don't think it's gonna be anyone who's here at Harrenhal right now. I don't know
how long of a bit.
Like a few months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like she'll save her last one.
How long do you think this book is?
We're only halfway through, you know? I think she's gonna save it. I think we're waiting for, like, a good...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but by the end of this book, we'll know.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay, so she saves it for a while because she doesn't want it to be anybody at Harrenhal. Then who?
One sec. Okay, who do I think it'll be? Joffrey.
Okay.
I think because that was like the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never forget your first.
Do you think her life will improve now that Wheeze is dead, but also now that Tywin and most of his force is gone? I think, but the people left behind are Amory Lorch, who she has a personal grudge against because you know he killed Yoren, and Vargo Hoat and his people, who are notorious.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think her life will improve. I think she herself will stop. Like it won't be like Wheeze where she's like, I can't move or else Wheeze will know what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? It'll be less of that.
She'll have more freedom.
Yeah, it'll be less of that. I think she'll just, her mental state will be less, like, she'll be less horrified all the time. But I don't think her life will be any easier.
All right. Yeah. Apparently Amory Lorch and Vargo Hoat do not get along well. How will anything come of that?
They'll probably have a few, like, fun little fights in the yard. That'll be fun. By yard, I mean, you know.
Yard.
Yeah.
It is a yard. It's just really expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe okay. All right, so they'll, like, quarrel.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that. Anybody gonna figure out who she is anytime soon?
No. Like, no. I think we're good for
Okay.
a little bit.
Alrighty then. Let's move on to Catelyn, shall we?
Catelyn? The
Okay,
person who these chapters are about.
Okay. Okay, Catelyn's on her way back to Winterfell. No, not Winterfell.
We wish.
On her way back to
We
Riverrun.
wish.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah.
And she meets up with one of her brother's scouts. Like,
Yeah.
her brother has sent this, like, Sir something Rivers,
Martin
and then one
Rivers.
of his scouts in turn has found her.
Yes.
And she gets the news, you know, her dad's the same, unchanged. They learn from her that Renly is in fact dead. Tywin is on the march, 3 or 4 days away. And Robb has won a great victory, which she did not know until now. And we learn how he managed to do it.
This was so... I was like, okay. You know?
Is it, though?
It's cool, but like, okay. You know?
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about what it is. So he snuck by the Golden Tooth on
and he has
a
a song
goat
about
path.
him, Wolf in the Night. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so Grey Wind found a little goat path out of the way, and they rode through there, and nobody even saw them coming.
That's
and
so cool.
Yeah. Let's see. And like everybody's like, oh, that wolf, that's no common wolf, that one. You know, people are saying that the old gods of the north send those direwolves to your children, which I am partial to believe, honestly.
Honestly, it makes sense though, because like also like they want to, like, if Robb becomes king, he wants to restore the old ways, so it makes sense that they will be supported in trying to
Does
restore
he
the
want
old.
to restore the old ways?
Isn't that literally what he's doing? They got like the king in the north.
Is that what he's doing?
They got like at least the old leadership ways, you know?
Yeah, but like the old gods implies the religion. I don't think he wants to change the religion of the Riverlands. Like he's more like, y'all do your thing.
Yeah, not of the Riverlands, cool. But like the people in the north, he's like, let's stay true to what we are, you know?
Okay, sure. Yeah, basically Grey Wind for the win. And he's currently still out west, paying back the Lannisters in kind for the devastation they inflicted on the Riverlands, which I don't know how I feel about that.
What do you mean?
Like, I think that, you know, what the Lannisters did is they burned and pillaged all of the Riverlands.
Yeah.
And now it seems like Robb is doing the same.
Yeah. Which is so fun.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I thought him to be better than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, like, it's not laid out in exact terms, but so maybe he's not doing exactly that. Maybe he's just, like, taking stuff as opposed to burning stuff down and killing and raping people.
Yeah.
But still, you know, because, like, in the Riverlands, we'd made the Lannisters out to be, like, the big, great villain. But now that villain is Robb out west. Like, those common people, they don't, you know.
Yeah, they're not Lannisters common people. They're just common people. Yeah.
Yeah, like, they live there, but they're still suffering the same as the Riverlands. Yeah. So, anyway, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are to bring Catelyn to Riverrun because her brother is planning to fight Tywin.
Yay.
And
this'll go well.
Yeah. So they, on the way back to Riverrun, because it's still like a day or two away, they set up camp, and Brienne comes up to her and is like, "Hey,
can I go?
I got you back. Yeah, can I go now?" And Catelyn's like, "What do you plan to do?" And Brienne's like, "I'm gonna go kill that motherfucker. What do you mean?
Yeah, I
what
told
am
you
gonna
3
do?
times. Like, were you listening?
Yeah. And Catelyn's like, "Yeah, I get it, but like, will you really accomplish anything though? You know, one person versus his whole army, whatever." And Brienne's like, "I don't know how to do anything else. I know how to fight." And Catelyn's like, "I get it. I also want to kill Cersei, but like, why don't you help, you know, some of Renly's mutual,
like
help
me,
fight his mutual whatever enemies?"
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. What's like Brienne like? Who like? So she was part of like the people in the South. Like, what are her loyalties? Like, who's she? What's her family?
So her dad, something Tarth, the Even Star. His holdings are on Tarth. Tarth is an island in the Stormlands.
Okay.
So his loyalties are to Storm's End, which was Renly's until Renly died, but most of those people have now gone over to Stannis. We don't know specifically about him.
Right.
I don't even know if he was like on the site, you know?
Right.
I think he sent Brienne as his envoy, or, you know, like, you go do the fighting for me kind of thing.
Okay. Because I was just thinking,
yeah.
I guess it still makes sense that she would bring this up, but I just like couldn't remember what her family background was at all, so I didn't know how this kind of fit in. But she kind of brings up like when Catelyn's like, okay, yeah, like I know like what Stannis did wasn't really right, but like if he's the rightful heir, then like God kind of decided that, and like we can't just like change what God wanted, you know? And Brienne's kind of like, no, Robert wasn't the heir either, like they literally killed all the heirs that were supposed to be the heirs during the rebellion.
Yeah, where were the gods then?
Yeah, like she's like, no, people just do what they want.
It is swords that decide.
Yeah,
exactly.
She was like, I'm gonna do what I want because other people do what they want. So
yeah.
And this is when Catelyn's kind of like,
I understand, but like, fight for the living, not the dead.
Yeah.
And Brienne's like, yeah, but I don't know your son though. I don't know him like that.
I know you though.
Yeah,
that was cute.
I will serve you if you want. And Catelyn's like, whoa, me? But why me specifically? And Brienne respects her for having, you know, stood up for her when all them Renly's dudes wanted to kill her. And she's like, I promise to serve you as long as you don't hold me back from killing Stannis when the time comes. And Catelyn promises, and they then do this like vow/oath of service, and it's cool, and they're forever bonded.
And Catelyn's kind of also I love it. Girl power, let's go. And Catelyn's also kind of having this moment where she's thinking back to, she constantly is thinking about this, makes sense, because she's like worried about Rob's health, but she keeps thinking about how Stannis is like, I'm gonna get your son too. And she's like, ooh, if, you know, if Brienne kills him, then you can't get my son.
Yeah, like, of course that won't hold her back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so now Brienne's part A, B, C, D are forever.
Ha ha ha! Yay!
Okay, yeah, so they next day move on. They cross the Red Fork, Ruby Ford, one of the things. They cross the river.
They do a thing. And they do another thing.
They cross a thing. The river has been, you know, spiked, and there's archers and all the things.
Yep.
You know, they're ready for battle. And she finally arrives.
Like, as they're kind of going, like there's small folk kind of coming into Riverrun, and it's interesting to see the contrast between the like Edmure's like, yeah, come on in, and then
Catelyn's like, whoa, hungry mouths to feed when you're on the, you know, precipice of a siege and a battle? What are you thinking? Which I
I didn't like that.
She says something like, only my brother would do this. But I'm also like, did you ever meet Ned, though?
Yeah,
He
no,
would
literally.
also totally do this.
Yeah, like, have you forgotten your husband already? Like, it's only been a year, ma'am. Like, but yeah.
Like, this is not just this is a totally Ned thing to do. You'd
and,
be like, yeah,
also,
my
I feel
people.
like they had, like, cows and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, they got some resources, like, they brought stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I thought the same thing, but I didn't think they have cows and stuff. But basically, like, if they were, you know,
and it's more
besieged
hands to do stuff, and like they bring food too. They have animals, you know, like the way I'm saying it sounds like I'm 8, and I'm like, I can contribute, mom. You know, like I sound like a kid, but like you get
contribute. An 8-year-old saying the word contribute.
Honestly, when I was 8, I did talk like that, so I think I was just thinking back to myself.
All right then. But yes, so she hasn't gotten to there yet.
Yeah.
Okay, she gets to River Run, and Edmure and his peeps come greet her, and they're like, okay, you. That's the introductions, okay?
Right.
And same thing, like, what's the news? And we learned that Edmure or Riverrun has received 3 letters or 3 birds from Sir Courtenay Penrose, who is still refusing to give over the castle to Stannis, therefore delaying his march. And he is pledging his allegiance to whichever king will break the siege, because he fears for the boy. The boy being Edric Storm, Robert's bastard. What do you think about this?
Okay. So, clearly, like, the boy was already, like, even before Renly's death, this was already like, okay, we gotta, like, take care of the boy, you know? And it's like, was this a Renly thing, or is this a Penrose thing? You know?
I don't know.
You do now.
What is Stannis's motivation for wanting him? Or
I think he wants the proof to convince people that,
be like,
hey, black hair,
blonde, black,
duck, goose. This is a goose. Those are ducks. Lannisters have ducks.
Sure they do. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to show people the goose. The not golden goose. The jet black goose. And he's like, yeah, he wants to use him as proof because, you know, him spreading this letter around doesn't mean anything.
Right, but why would, like, Penrose
care?
Oppose that?
I don't...
Yeah. Do you think Penrose knows that that's Stannis' motivation?
Oh. That's a good point. I don't think so. Well, I guess Stannis did send the letters to everyone. But, like, does he have a letter?
He didn't say in the letter, I can prove it if only I had my hands on this boy.
Right.
So Penrose doesn't know Stannis' motivation.
Right, so it wouldn't be because
of probably that. Just like, yeah, maybe if they just sat down and talked it out.
Time, right?
Penrose, Eric? Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Edric.
Eric? Edric? I don't know.
Wait until you meet the Sirs Eric and Eric.
What?
Twin brothers.
No. Eric. Nope, I can't do it. Okay,
named after the historically famous twin brothers, Eric and Eric.
Really? Okay, so that wasn't R. Martin being dumb. That was just a life.
No. Historically in Martin's history.
Oh! Bruh, this man needs to calm down.
Eventually you run out of names, you know?
Oh my gosh. Okay,
oh my god, I just remembered what they were called. The new twins, Eric and Eric.
Yeah, what are they called?
One particular person we don't know, calls them left and right.
Left and right? Why left
Sorry.
and right?
Because they walk on one side and then...
Oh my god. Left to your right. Right to your left. Oh my.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. So off topic. Okay, Edric Storm. Yes, he has been at Storm's End the whole time.
So maybe I don't know, man. Is he like I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. Okay, moving on.
Did the Lannisters
blah, blah, blah.
get to them? Like, you know how the Lannisters were like, we're gonna get them on our side. So now he's on Lannister's side or something. Is that possible, or is that too quick?
Penrose?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because weren't they... That's my best guess, because I have no idea otherwise.
But Cersei did kill all the other bastards.
Ooh, so she wouldn't... Oh, right, duh. She wouldn't keep him safe. What am I on about? Yeah, that makes no sense. Okay, right. Huh.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
idea.
I think it's fine. Okay, so they're like, okay, who killed Renly, though? And Catelyn's like, we'll talk about it. Let's move on. Speaking of killing people, who are these men that you've hanged or are hanging? There's something in me that does not allow me to misuse the word hanged for hung. It just
Right.
okay.
And they're like,
and
they were
she learns that
envoys.
false envoys,
Oh.
and it's the brute, the thief, and the mummer that Tyrion hired.
Right. And they almost succeeded.
Yes, they did. If only, thank God, you know, Edmure was out having sex with a sex worker. Otherwise, it would have worked.
Right. Oh
yeah, because the mummer imitated his voice and commanded the gates to be opened, and they were almost on their way out when Edmure returned and was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And
yep.
And they were caught and killed and hung on the walls.
Fun.
And Jaime and the rest of the false envoys were thrown in the dungeons, because before he had like a, you know, respectable cell up in the with a window and things, but not anymore. Sir Cleos claims
now.
he didn't know anything, and we know he didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But he now is in the cell that Jaime used to be in. And
so much for, you know, making a peace treaty.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't know.
Yeah, basically
they don't know yet about Stannis and everything. They're like, oh, maybe Stannis would, like, you know, join up with us. Catelyn's like, yeah, that'll be fun.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, she's basically like, oh, we gotta talk about that. Oh, and also that, and then that, and then that too.
Pretty much, yep.
So they're like, okay, so don't unpack, cause you gotta go over to the twins to pick out a wife for Robb. And she's like,
no.
Yeah, no thanks. And, you know, it's just, Edmure is like, you know, you'll be safer in the twins. Tywin is coming. And she's like, well, we could just, you know, shut our doors and retreat, and we don't have to fight them. They can just pass us by. And of course, Edmure is like, on my lands? Never!
No! I need to redeem myself.
Yeah, and she argues that they have nothing to gain and everything to lose by fighting Tywin. And what do you think about that? Who do you agree with on this?
I'm on Catelyn's side, because this is Tywin we're talking about. I feel like it would be
and
better
Edmure
for them.
already lost a battle to Jaime, and that was the only battle he's ever fought.
And it's just like, I feel like their like river lords and their like limited, defenses would be better used to support like Robb, or like when that battle happened or something, you know what I mean? Like, how good would it be to like have
this
that
would be
Robb
useless
thing?
bloodshed.
Yeah, to have that Robb thing happen, and then we can pull out another 8,000 people. You know what I mean? Like, how useful would that be? But obviously, they're not going to do that. And I just feel like, this is a waste, and it's like it's not going to work. And you really think that Tywin's just going to fall for this? He's going to be
what do you mean by it's not going to work?
You're not going to succeed in fighting Tywin.
In what?
And you're not going to win
and
this.
Winning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they will fight, but they will lose. Yeah. And how much or what will they lose exactly? Like, will somebody be taken captive? Will they lose Riverrun, the castle?
Frick.
Or will it just be like a massive, infantry loss, like loss of life kind of thing?
Yeah, but like Tywin knows that Jaime is taken at Riverrun, right? Or does he not know that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows that.
He knows that.
So I think Jaime might get freed.
The reason Tywin is marching now, though, is because Robb is attacking his lands.
Yeah. So he's got to get onto that. But I don't know, like, if he has people to lose. How many people does Tywin have? Who's got the biggest army? Renly did, right? And the Lannisters was second biggest?
I think Tywin has like 25 to 30,000 people.
Mm-hmm. So
Robb has about a dozen, like 12,000, and Edmure's gathered about the same.
Okay.
So
it's still significant. It wouldn't, like, Tywin can't just fight them and leave. It would still be a significant loss.
Like, he would lose people too? That kind of thing?
Yeah.
He would lose people, but like right now, like since Robb's not here, Edmure has, let's say, 12,000, and Tywin has 25,000.
Right. Okay, I think Riverrun would get taken. But that means Jaime. We don't have Jaime anymore. But that's like our only thing.
Unless somebody kills him, like, right before the castle is taken, just to make sure that Tywin doesn't get anything out of it.
Damn.
I'm sorry that my mind works like that, but that's what I would do.
Damn.
If I were, Edmure.
If I were Edmure. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think he'll take him. Damn. Ah, that's so sad. The only thing we had was Jaime, man.
Right. But would Tywin risk taking the castle knowing that Jaime might be killed? Okay, we're getting too technical here. None of this really matters. Okay. I guess it matters, but not to the extent that we're like spending on it. Okay, what am I trying to say? Edmure will lose the battle. Riverrun is at risk of falling.
Yes.
Well, we can end it there?
Yes.
Okay. Also, if they take a Riverrun, they can take Catelyn.
Mm-hmm. They can.
And that's like another hostage against Robb.
Yay!
But we do learn that, Roose Bolton is marching or going towards Harrenhal, planning to take Harrenhal with the help of Helman Tallheart, who was left at the Twins by Robb for good reason, who Edmure has commanded to leave and support Roose Bolton.
I do not trust the phrase 1%. I think Tywin's gonna bribe them.
I mean, Edmure's like, they've done so much for us.
Yeah, but there's
already.
literally 50 of them. Just because 10 of them have done something for you, that's like an entire family. You know what I mean? Like, there's like, they could split their loyalties like 5 ways.
They have like people to spare.
Yeah, like they're like, oh look, the 2 people you have at your, like, the 2 people you're like not fostering, the 2 people you're fostering, like, man, like, you're good. And I'm like, you think he cares about those 2 people? You think he's gonna be like, oh, thousands of gold dragons, or these 2 kids of mine that I don't even know the names of? Like, you really think,
both named Walder after him,
right? Like, you really think like these people? What? No.
Okay,
I don't trust
so you
him.
think this was a bad
I don't trust him at
decision?
all. This is a
Edmure's
bad
part.
idea. And like, why is Roose? I get it. Like, if they capture Harrenhal, that would be like, if this plan were to work, that would be great. But I just feel like they need to stop splitting up their defense again and again and again. Like, I need them to stop doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Roose Bolton was already split.
I know, but like...
Oh, but he's also married now. This is his honeymoon, going to battle for Harrenhal.
I mean, yeah.
That's like a random tidbit that's thrown in there.
Yeah,
And I was
right,
like,
right.
oh, well, battle, marriage, battle,
Yeah,
battle.
And also with the whole, like, Theon situation, and you know how Theon left a couple people because he wanted them to be able to tell, like, he let a couple people go.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when the Tall Hearts find out about that, are they gonna want to leave Bolton to, like, go deal with that? Or will they be like, oh, they're already dead, I may as well fight this?
I mean, if the, Iron Men are gonna attack all of the North, then everybody, all of the Northmen are gonna want to go back and protect their lands.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, who wants to be fighting out in, like, foreign country when your own homes are at risk, you know?
Yeah, totally. So that's all of Rob's men, which is fun.
Yeah.
We love this so much.
Don't we?
My gosh, this is so stressful for no reason. What the heck? And, like, also, I love that they're just like, oh, we're gonna capture Harrenhal, I'll get Tywin here, Tywin's trapped in the middle, easy. I'm like, Tywin is not a child. You think he hasn't thought this through? You think he's just gonna be like, I'm gonna walk past their house and they're just gonna be like, you, what? Ugh.
Yeah. Catelyn wishes that Rob had left the blackfish behind because,
logic.
He's a
capability.
veteran and smart. Yeah. She says Edmure was the veteran of one, and that one lost.
Mm-hmm. And also from Bolton's men, like, he has 10,000 men, right? But, like, are those all fighting people, or does he just have 10,000 people?
We're gonna assume they're all fighting people.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, good.
Because, like, who else would he be bringing all the way from the north?
That's true, but, like, yeah, I guess I was just thinking of, like, Tywin's second army, where they were just getting anybody they could. The one that Rob defeated.
Right. No, this was, like, part of his, like, initial army. He chose to split it up when he had to go save Riverrun, remember?
Oh, right. So
in
those are
first
his
book.
actual people then. Right. Yes.
Yeah, this is, like, his primary army, just split
Okay,
into
so they do know what they're
Rob
doing.
has most of the cavalry from the north.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Most of Roose's people are, like, on foot.
Okay. But yeah, at this point, Catelyn just starts gaslighting herself, and she's like, I don't know anything. I'm done talking about this.
Yeah. Gotta go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Not bed. My dad's deathbed.
Yeah.
She goes visits her dad, who is not quite lucid. He thinks that she's Lysa, and is asking for her forgiveness and talking about some what the stripling wretched boy. And even Catelyn's like, okay, first off, I'm not Lysa. Second off, stripling wretched boy. Who's that? Who dat?
I don't know why, but I feel like it's Petri dish.
Petri dish?
Katire.
Oh. You're calling him Petri dish now?
I've had so many nicknames for him. I feel like every time we talk about him, I have a new one.
Okay, Littlefinger. He has enough names. You don't need to add.
No, but his name is so nicknameable. I Petri dish.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay,
Petire.
what would Petri dish have to do with Lysa in this scenario?
Wasn't that a thing? Like, didn't Lysa like Petri dish? I swear that was a thing.
Let's see.
Like, we know that
Here's
she at
what we
least
know.
had a crush on him at one point. At least when they were kids.
What's her name? Catelyn. No. Yeah, Peter liked Catelyn.
And then
and he challenged Brandon Stark, not Brendan. Brandon Stark to a duel over her.
Mm-hmm.
He lost, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And we know he's still bitter about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we think back to, I think Catelyn at one point is thinking back to, like, you know, summers as a kid and play kissing Peter, and remembers that Lysa liked it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we know.
Okay, I still think it's Petire.
I mean, Peter himself claims that he took both of their maidenheads, and they're both fond of him.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
So
I think.
Okay, you think this wretched stripling is Peter.
Yeah, and I think that's...
But what does he have to do here? Like, okay, so sure, she had a crush on him. Then what?
So then she was like, I want to marry him. And her dad was like, nope. We hate
You're
him.
gonna marry this guy that's 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
So, like, what? I knew he was, like, their dad's age, but he's
20 years older than the dad? Yeah. What?
Dude, what were you thinking?
Yep.
And Catelyn's like, I don't blame her, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. I can't.
God, this is uncomfortable.
And Maester Vyman's like, your dad better die.
Yeah. Yeah, so she leaves, and
Ned's body arrives.
Like, it has been there, but the Silent Sisters come up to inform her, and she is taken down to see his bones, and she's like, this is not my Ned. It sucks.
This paragraph had me dying.
Yeah. Do you want to read it? I don't want to read it. It's too sad.
Should I read it? It's sad.
Yeah, it's just basically her remembering, like, these are not the arms that held me.
Sad.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
These are not his eyes, Y'all can read it. Y'all have the book. But yeah, it's sad.
It's sad.
I was like, this is good writing.
Yeah. And she notes that ice is not there. It's just some basic random sword.
Yep.
Yeah. And so she's like, thanks the Silent Sisters for bringing the body, but she's like, oh, I got one more task for you. Y'all gotta go all the way to Winterfell.
Thanks.
I know winter is coming, but you gotta go.
Yep.
And she's gonna send Hal Mullen to escort them to Winterfell. Mm-hmm. And then she, sits with Ned for the rest of the night. Yeah, and she wishes that she could talk to the dead. Sad. Very sad. Okay, so predictions. We already talked about the battle that is coming.
Yes, the inevitable battle. It's...
What else happened?
Man, I just...
Oh, at one point, the Maester asks her to write to Lysa, imploring her to come visit her dad before he dies. Do you think Lysa will... No.
It's hopeless.
Do you think the Blackfish will be able to come see his brother before he dies?
I don't think so, because he's like, they're off there,
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's gonna die real soon then. Alrighty.
Next time you're gonna be like, who died in these chapters? And I'm gonna be like, Catelyn's father.
Okay.
What's his name?
Hoster Tully.
Hoster, yes.
Hoster, what a weird name.
Yes. I mean, George R. R. Martin was running out of names, man.
For sure. Okay. I can't think of any predictions. Can you?
Nope.
Well, then, let's move on to next chapters and wrap this up.
Game of Thrones.
Okay, thank you for the reminder. Before I forget, people, go listen to Game of Thrones. I was a guest on the podcast for season 4, episode 5, I think. I really hope it was episode 5. But it's the one that comes out, that is already out by the time our episode comes out. It came out on Tuesday, April 12th. So go listen to it. And it was a lot of fun, and I nerded out, and it was amazing. Yay. Thank you for the reminder, because I really we recorded it like 2 months ago, so I just had to like note it down. I was like, remember, and I asked Harma to remind me so I wouldn't forget. Thank you for doing that. Okay, next chapters. Before we forget that too, we're reading 2 next time. Any hopes, predictions?
I would like to see... What's his name? Stannis's dude?
Davos?
Davos, I don't know why I said Davos. And... Is it too late to wish for a new character? Who did we got two new characters this
Yeah,
book,
Davos
right?
and Theon.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, book 2 characters. Okay, so we're hoping for Davos and Sansa.
Okay, well, you're not gonna get either of them. We're reading chapters 40 and 41. Mm-hmm. Chapter 40 is Daenerys.
Oh. So, Daenerys... What did Daenerys do last time? I don't remember.
Last time she arrived in Karth, and she learned that Robert is dead. And Jorah was like
being awkward and sketchy.
Yes, exactly.
Child predator.
Yeah.
Who? Just kidding. Yeah, I think they'll be like, hey, so like we've shown you around the town. Now can you give us some dragons?
I think that is a good prediction. I like it. Okay. And then chapter 41 is Tyrion.
Tyrion, the chain.
You think we'll find out about the chain?
No, Tyrion, there's this song by Fleetwood Mac called The Chain, and it's like, you will never break the chain, and that's like Tyrion thinking about his chain. Sorry. Okay, so we'll find out about
the chain he's gonna wrap around Joffrey to the Iron Throne so that nobody can take it over.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, not Joffrey, chain, and then I think Cersei. We'll find out about Cersei's plan to dethrone Tyrion somehow.
Right, she's up to something.
Yes.
I think you mentioned like she'll find out about Shay potentially.
Yes.
You think that'll happen?
Yes, I do.
All right then. Well then that's that. Let's wrap it up. Everybody, go listen to Game of Thrones. Like I said, I will link it in the show notes. So all you have to do is click a thing and follow us on Instagram at Pop Culture Symposium. Email us at popculturesymposium@gmail.com. And I just remembered that we had an email that we haven't read yet, so I should do that. I read it to you, though.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Let me find it. Okay, so the person that wrote this email, they did not sign it. Their name is in their email, but I'm not going to read it just because they have not signed it, like I said. Okay, so the email reads, Dear Nuv, I don't know how to express how much you have helped me through your Game of Thrones podcast. I used to have severe social anxiety, but after seeing hearing maybe you guys talking about fun stuff. I knew I had to have that. I have a few good friends now, and I think life's good again. Keep doing what you guys are doing. You the best. Love from India. Thank you. Love from India. We love you too. We're so glad that you're enjoying the podcast, and it means the world to us that we could
help you,
be a positive thing in people's life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for writing in.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's everything. So until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.